Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices with Elliott Wave and trading levels. And with the DAX here on the daily chart, we're looking at a triangle pattern with wave 3 over here, an A wave, a B wave, and a C, a D, and an E for wave 4 here. It's possible that wave 4 can be on this low through here. We'll keep that as an alternative, but we won't know the answer to that until we see more pattern that we can recognize and allocate as evidence. So currently we're in this move up through to here as wave A, and once that's completed we'll see wave B come back in 3 waves and then up again for wave C here. So on the 4-hour chart, I've made a small adjustment here, and I'll talk about that on the hourly chart. But as it looks at the moment, we've got wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then moving up for wave 5 here. So we've still got further to go to the upside here, and then after 5 waves, we get an ABC correction and back to the 61.8%. And even if we were looking at this here down here as this wave C of intermediate wave 4 being completed here, then we would look at this here. If I can just copy that here, we would look at this as wave 1 here and then pulling back for wave 2 here, but it would be the same pattern. So it doesn't. We're not going to know anything until then. We'll only know we'll only know in this little section here, because in this section here, well, we'll get 5 waves here too, in this one here. We'll also get 5 waves if it was 1 and 2 and going up for 3. But the difference would be that if it was wave 3 going up here, it would be much stronger. So we should be able to see the personality of that particular structure. On the 1-hour chart, I'll just show you what tweaking I've done. So before we had this as this, excuse me, just get all my buttons working. So before I had this top here as this wave 3 and looking at this wave 4 here. Now that can still be correct as well here, but it was just the sheer size of this in relationship to this one here that I needed to look at this particular wave 4 here. So on the other markets, on the AEX, for example, we've still got this particular count here because it's a better fit. It just is. It's not going to make a lot of difference, and I'll be able to resolve it later, but we'll be looking for this to push up above the level, the 12,500 here, and because we can see this pattern occurring here as a classic trading levels pattern. So that is normally the arrival here, a corrective pattern, then 5 waves up as the first high above the level, and then the A, the B, and the C pattern here. And then we normally look to go long here, or we can start building in on this side over here. So in this case here, we have had the arrival, the reaction, and the first high above the level here. So we're in this space here. So I think we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here. So wave 1 and wave 2 here. I've got to be a little bit careful, because even though that's 5 waves up there, it's possible to put that wave 5 on top here and be done with it. But the extensions in wave 3, so wave 1 and wave 5 should be roughly the same length. So we can look at 12,600 to 12,650 area there. Once that is completed, then we'll be looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming back into this space, and then moving from that point there. On the AEX of the Netherlands, the same thing as well here. We're looking at a triangle pattern here in terms of an A wave, a B, and a C, and a D, and an E. And we're focused on this particular move to the upside here. So with that in mind, let's drill in here. There's no change in this. So we're looking at it as an A and a B and a C wave here. I'll just leave that there for a little while longer, but if we're lining it up with the DAX, we can look at this as 1 and 2 here, and then all the way up for 3 here. So this is, I haven't changed it here where I've changed it on the DAX, because here I mean, one of them's right and one of them's wrong. So, but that's the idea with the videos, is to explore things, and that's why, you know, I do what I do in this case. So we'll just see how we go here. So in this case here, this little wave moving up here, that would be suitable already for this wave 5 here of wave 3 here. So we can get an A and a B and a C wave here with all of this. So just be mindful. The pullback for that wave 4, if that is the top there, only comes in here in this space here. So I want to leave the stop out of the way. It's probably a good idea if you're long at the moment to look at locking in a bit of profit there. So if I can just put that in there, as I'll just make that a bit bigger so we see it, just to lock in some profit here, and then we can move back into that over here if we're on track. Otherwise we'll just stay long from that particular point. The FTSE is the same basic pattern to the upside as well. In this case here, I've got this as wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C here for wave 2. I suppose it can be a triangle 2 with wave C here and then D here and E here. But I've started with this count a long time ago, so I'll just stay with it. We found our low in our target area here, and we're working this particular trend to the upside here. So I want to go in and talk about that. So yeah, just in this space here, I think that we can also, we were long here. I've moved the stop up a little bit just away from the wave 4 here, but we can also look at taking part profit here. Our target is higher in this around this old high here at the 7650, the halfway between the 500 and the 800, always important. And yeah, we still got further to go up there. So I just see, I don't know if what I've done on the hourly chart. Oh yeah, I'm all over it. So yeah, look, this is the same as the AEX here, and the wave count's reasonably clear. So wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2, and then strong third wave up here, 4th and 5th. Yeah, a little bit dodgy in here. I haven't quite worked out. I have to have a look on the cash market just to confirm that, but there's something not right about that. And then 5 waves up here. There can be one more little high in here as well for this to occur in here. So don't forget we're taking some part profit in here. And then the wave 4 pulling back here will also be, well, if I just take it from this top, and you can adjust it from there, but 38.2. So I can come back into this space here. So that's why if we took some profit here, we can get back in down here as well. So yeah, I'll leave you to work out what balance that you want to take, because that will depend on how your portfolio is going anyway. So, and over to Italy, so over to the MIB, and here we've got this is the A wave here, the B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3, the triangle that we've been working through. And this is where we started to do the MIB in here, wasn't it? Somewhere in amongst all of this here. So a real nice time to start in a correction. It really makes you work hard and understand all the little nuances. But we finally got there, and we looked at the move back down into the 20 here. So what we're looking at now is obviously the same run as the other markets. I suppose we could get some sort of triangle pattern out of all of this as well, but I'll just stay with this for the time being here. We're looking for an impulse wave to move to the upside. The important points here is that we know that this triangle pattern here, this will be, there's a lot of volume turned over in this. Well, corrections are normally on lower volume than the previous trend. So that's how you differentiate the corrections, because corrections are always on lower volume than the previous trend. So, but still, this market moving up into this space here will meet supply, the sellers through here, so it's going to be sold off, and it's starting to do that now. We had a sharp move down on the cash market. There was actually a gap down there at the 21,500 mark, and a bit difficult to see that wave count too on that move down. But let's go in here and start to pull it apart. So in this case here, we were looking, counting this in terms of 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. I could even put this wave 3 here as well, actually. But not that it matters too much. We were looking for a top to be in play here and then a move down. So let's go in and have a look at that. It was rather sharp, and like I mentioned, on the cash market, on the physical market, there was a gap in this space here. Now, and so I can't count it on the cash market, so I'm not quite sure what to do about this, but we've done all the right things here. You know, we've been long in a few places. We've taken profit here because we knew that there was going to be some type of correction at the 500 here. So we're seeing that correction. Everything is going pretty much according to plan here. The only thing that I don't know is, I know wave 4s get complicated, and we might get some more complication in here. And what I mean by that is that, if I can just copy these for a moment, this can just be the A wave here, this can just be the B wave here, and the C wave can come down into this space here. So in that case, we don't really want to be stopped out because we know this is just corrective. It might be up for 1 and back for 2 here, and then move straight up from there. So in that case, 3, 4, and 5. So in that case, we're going to be going long again here, or long through here, okay? So that's our long trade strategy here. We don't want to be flicked out of the trade, so we want to keep this stop just out of the way here, okay? We don't want that interfered. So you don't want to be stopped out. We don't want to be stopped out because we've already taken some profit here. That was the reason for leaving a wider stop. Okay, so we've dealt with that, and now we're going through the emotional stages of it. So we need to, you know, we need to keep it together here. So we can move down into this space here. So just be mindful of that, and then we'll sort of move up from there. And also too, this line through here will help us with that. Going long again. If you are going long here, get half of the position here, and then get the other half of the position once you've got support on here. You can also add through these levels here as well. Right, that's about it really. So yeah, and it's the weekend. So thanks for tuning in, and have a lovely weekend. Cheers.